This is a Headgum podcast.
I feel like you and I
mess.
had a big period of time in 2009 to 10 when we were writing for SNL. We would go downstairs to the J. Crew.
Sure.
And the Anthropology.
And the Anthropology, I was going to say.
But we would walk to J. Crew when we had a bad day and just look at the chunky jewelry. Chunky jewelry.
Peak
like
J. Crew chunky jewelry.
You'd pick it up and it'd be like, clang, 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 clang.
More cowbell.
And somebody's like, did you want to buy that door with a string? And I was like, yeah.
Jessi Klein.
Oh, hi, Liz Feldman.
I was just saying something that moved you in a way that I want to try to replicate.
Oh, okay.
Which is and a very true sentiment is that I was walking myself to lunch this afternoon.
Okay.
And I was feeling sort of a pang of like, I almost can't wait for us to be on hiatus from the show so that we can have lunch again.
That really makes my heart sing because I have been like worried, like, is our friendship being ruined by the pod?
I mean, I do think our friendship is being affected by the pod.
Okay, affected I can work with.
Yeah.
Feels like we can come back, although, can I also say what just happened right before we started is, so Gwyneth Paltrow's empire now includes a chain of eateries called Goop Kitchen. I was working at a job, brag, on the West Side, and that is how I first discovered Goop Kitchen because it's been there for a while.
Yeah, long time.
We'd been talking about it. Yes. I ordered it for lunch. I then saw that I had like a coupon for 20% off Goop Kitchen. Texted it to you.
Yeah.
Then you were like, oh, I've already ordered from there. I don't know that I've ordered the right thing. I think I'm ordering wrong.
Yeah.
Tell me what to order.
You're right.
And then I said,
save it for the pod.
Save it for the pod, kind of as a joke. And then you wrote back, R.I.P. our friendship.
I did.
And I was like, wow, it's that tenuous.
Now, here's the thing. We are mostly kidding.
We're mostly kidding.
But there is an aspect to the reality of doing a friendship podcast, right?
Yes.
Where you're like, you kind of want to save these big moments of talking for the thing itself. We have so many conversations when we're in our normal, like, lunching and dinnering and cocktailing.
Deep, probing, fascinating conversations.
A lot of probing.
And a lot of probes. But now
it's a little bit like, I think, well, I could ask Jessi if she wants to get a drink, but what if something good comes
up? And we don't want to waste it on our lives. Yeah. On our actual lives.
Not when we could give it to the people.
Not when we could give it to the people.
And when we say the people, we think maybe 4
your sister.
to 6 people. Definitely my sister.
We just started.
Yeah, we just started. Yeah, we're hearing dribs and drabs of people listening, and we're really thankful.
We're really thankful, but I also want to say, authentically, I have been worried about losing you as someone in a dinner or a lunch rotation or a drink rotation. Yeah. Because I count on you.
You were telling that very poignant story about sort of when you get lonely, you start counting your friends.
Oh, I count my friends all the time, like little rosary beads.
So do I. I don't think I admitted that when we first had this conversation.
No, you didn't.
I swear I definitely...
Because I felt very vulnerable and loser-like saying that.
No, I...
Which will be a good segue to our topic we wanted to talk about, which is high school.
Yeah, it is. And I think, and I think it's like high school probably has a lot to do with why I do that, because I don't know that I was ever 100% sure like who my real friends were.
Well, and it's constantly changing.
Constantly changing. And also you're constantly changing. But now I feel pretty fixed in who I am.
Oh, I'm never changing an inch.
No, and I feel like I've found this person who accepts me as I am now, having not known who I was before. Yes.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
No,
I was like,
Jessi.
She's about to talk about her wife. I thought you were going to say Rachel. I was
no,
like,
I'm talking about you. Like I feel accepted by you as the person I am now, even though you didn't know me.
I just want to tell you I do accept you.
Okay, thank you.
I just was eager to say
now
it before
I'm
we
like,
moved on.
did we fuck it up?
Can we talk about what came up the other day?
Yes, please.
So we were chatting in a sort of calm. This is like a moment on the phone or on Zoom where it was like we're talking about things that aren't super important.
Right.
And then you casually, like it's nothing, mentioned that you were going to be going to New York City.
Right.
To receive an award. And I go, I'm sorry. Are you just throwing away that you're going to get an award? What award? And then you say you're getting an award from your high school.
Yeah.
Would you? And I just couldn't believe that you were trying to weave this into the tapestry like it's a thread like all the other threads. This is a big fucking deal.
Is it?
Say more.
Okay, fine.
I'm very proud of you. At the same time, furious.
I appreciate it. I went to Poly Prep in Brooklyn,
Famously.
New York, and it's a very old little private high school that used to only be like, white men. It's like pictures of Civil War veterans on the walls and that kind of thing. And they started letting women in, I think, in the early 80s anyway.
Bless.
So happy to share that history with you.
Yeah, that's what you get out of a little private school.
Yeah, and there were like, it's a small school, 99 kids in my graduating class.
But can we clarify, though, about the Civil War veterans?
Yeah.
For the North.
Yeah, it's in Brooklyn.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear for the right side.
Yeah, just so it's very weird.
For the Union.
But just Bay Ridge went for the Confederates. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah,
but Bay Ridge was also
red dot
North.
Yeah, so we were, I think we were on the right side of history.
Right side of history at Poly Prep.
At Poly Prep, like very storied old place. And I went there famously in the closet throughout high school.
Famously now.
And somehow I get an email that they are giving me an award for the Distinguished Alumni Award.
This is an incredibly big deal.
Is it?
Oh. Would you cut the tidal wave of bullshit?
I'm not.
I'm very happy for you, but also I'm like, I think you said something. You're like, haven't you gotten an award for high school? Honey, absolutely not.
You went to a much bigger high school, though.
Not by much. A couple thou. I don't know.
I think you know what it is. It's not guilt, but it's something like guilt because I happen to be in the entertainment business, right? I'm in show business, right?
Well, happen to be and/or
worked very hard
to intentionally worked hard to be here.
Worked hard to be here.
And deserve your spot.
But I feel like I just happen to work and thank God do well in a business. God. Yeah, I'm bringing her in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goddess.
Yes.
All right.
And I just think that entertainment is a sexier business than others, right? I have many friends who went to high school with me who are doctors and lawyers and people who ostensibly have changed the world in much bigger ways than I have.
Yeah.
But I think because I do something that's more forward facing, that I'm getting
front of house.
I'm a front of house kind of person comparatively. So I'm being recognized. And I'm very grateful and it's very cool. And I think my 17-year-old closeted self would feel really good about this.
Yeah.
So I should remember her.
And this is part of reunion weekend.
This is my 30th high school reunion.
This is all to me jaw-dropping information.
I guess I didn't think it was going to be that exciting.
That you're going to your 30th high school reunion is.
As a hero.
As a hero.
Sorry.
Is there
what? God?
What?
Sorry.
It sounded like the voice of Goddess.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
You're a returning hero. You were closeted in high school. You've made good. You're out. You have a beautiful family. You're a huge success. You're an inspiration to people. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel just very jealous.
And there it is.
Of literally every step of that sentence.
It's my 30th high school reunion. I would have never crossed country to go to my 30th high school reunion, but it's a little hard to say no when they're like, we want to give this to you so that you'll have something to feel good about for 24 hours.
Is it a physical trophy?
I have no idea.
Is it something made of glass?
Literally no idea.
It's one of those glass things with etched in white.
I will report back.
Okay.
It could be something embossed. I don't know.
Maybe I time a trip at the same time, just coincidentally. Maybe there's an extra plus one.
By the way, I don't have a date because my wife is going to stay home with Edgy.
Yes, 1,000,000 times yes. I'm not even kidding. I totally come to your date.
By the way, I would fucking love that, and we could record it because I started to feel that thing where I was like, "Is anybody going to come? From my class? Or any of my friends going to come?"
Up.
Well, I swear to God,
you dumb bitch.
Wow.
Sorry. No. Of course, people are going to come.
No, so I started to text.
To come see superstar Hollywood entertainer of the year, Liz Feldman.
I literally in the last week was like,
who else are they going to go see? Dr. Goldstein showing up at this reunion? I don't know. That was
the other guy, the guy who's also winning the Distinguished Alumni Award, I think with me, who graduated in 1960, is the owner of Kleinfeld's.
Well, that's also a big deal. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I'm definitely coming.
Okay, yeah. Free dress.
Free dress.
But I really did. I was like texting.
I'm going to go to your reunion to get a free Kleinfeld bridal dress.
Crazier things have happened.
I mean, that's a movie.
That is, yeah, there she is.
There she is.
But yeah, I did. I texted my. I'm going to change a name just for protection, for witness protection.
Sure.
So I texted my friend Bernadette, and I was like, "What?" I knew you were going to have a reaction to that.
Wait, you just tossed off that Bernadette is the fake name. Now, is this like a psych out where Bernadette is the real name and you couldn't think it in your...
No, it's actually
Bernadette's
truly,
floating around? That's your Jane Doe?
And
Bernadette
if you knew the real person...
Flackelman?
Yes, if you knew the real gal, you'd be like, that's actually a really good fake name for her.
Well, but then isn't that the wrong thing to do? Don't you want to...
No, because I'm fine for the people who know her. But for the people who don't know her, I don't want to like give her identity because I'm going to talk about her a little later.
Go ahead, sorry.
So my friend Bernadette, who we started poly prep on the same day in 6th grade, and we were friends all throughout. We went to camp together. Anyway, I was like, are you going to go? And she texted me back, actually Instagrammed me back, because that's how I stay in touch with a lot of my high school friends, you know. And she said that she was going to rearrange her daughter's like college visit trip so that she could come to the reunion. And I almost cried.
That's really nice.
It was really sweet.
That's really nice.
It was really sweet. And then my friend Laura, whose name I don't have to change because she and I didn't do anything nefarious in high school, she's going to come as well. So I'm like, if those two can come, I'll be really happy.
Okay, then it sounds like publicly I've been invited as your date.
I would love it.
So now you can't take it back until I RSVP no.
Until you squirrel out the day before.
Not in no world. I was just going to say, I feel like last year, when did I graduate high school? 93? So how long ago was that? 1,000 years? I haven't been to one in such a long time, and I went to one maybe like 10 years out or 15 years out, and I don't know, it's still very fraught. But I think we could introduce our very special guest.
Yes, who happens to have written and directed a movie
about,
in part, about, it's very, not really about this, but where that features the concept of a high school reunion.
Today's friend is an actress, comedian, director, and writer who has starred in films including Brittany Runs a Marathon, Hilarious, Rough Night, Hilarious, 22 Jump Street. Do we have to now say hilarious for each one? Okay,
but they all are.
Then you jump in and say 22 Jump Street.
Hilarious.
And Kind of Pregnant.
Super funny.
So funny. She directed and co-wrote Summer of 69, a new movie now streaming on Hulu. Jillian Bell, you're here to make friends.
I'm here.
You're here.
Please be my friend.
Oh my God.
I need him.
You're making this extremely easy for us.
Okay, great.
Do you still sometimes feel like you have to count your friends just to check how many you have, or do you feel confident? Was that such a loser piece of information to share at the top?
It's actually so cute because I just picture you guys on your pillows just being like, Rosie,
Bernadette,
Francelle,
Kelly,
Francelle. I don't know.
Laton.
We're thrilled to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. I love you both, and I'm such fans of both of yours.
That is
Stop it.
nice.
And every time I see what you're doing, I am just like, yes.
Oh. Check. Well,
more.
I also want to take a moment to talk about how great you look, just in terms of
truly
the green shoe, the understated dress, a perfect haircut that I saw while you were doing your press tour for Kind of Prep. I was like, Jillian,
That's
you're what the kids
sweet.
say. Goddamn adorable.
Goddamn adorable. She's a summer breeze. Sorry to be just like, we're talking about your appearance.
Yes, we're objectifying you.
We're objectifying you.
Look, it's nice to go on a podcast and have my appearance be talked about. Can I tell you, I miss the 1980s.
Yes. What if I just was like, and I'm reaching over.
and I'm touching her breast.
I'm touching your breast.
We should start greeting our guests with a lip kiss.
Oh, that's great. A soft one, though.
Richard Dawson style, you know? Isn't that his name? The guy from Family Feud?
Did he give little soft kisses?
If you were a woman on Family Feud,
he would give you a little soft kiss.
Which I was.
On the mouth.
A little soft mouth kiss?
Mouth kiss. Even if your husband was standing right next to you, he would go
might make
in,
it hotter.
Lip to lip, baby.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, maybe we start doing that.
You know what? Maybe we talk about it.
Okay, what do you think is worse? Like a little wet kiss that goes in, or a soft kiss, but right before it, it's
a sniff and
it's a little and then the kiss.
I guess that just depends on who it is and where.
Okay, so if it's Richard, what's his
Dawson?
name? Dawson?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
one are
really
you going
dated
for?
myself on that one.
well, I was like, Dawson's Creek?
In a way, think that the wet kiss is slightly better because there's something so creepy and intimate about that.
Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Well, Jillian has always been very good at that specific brand of like deep cringe laugh out loud. Like, oh my God, I can't believe the sound. Like, just very, anyway, such a fan of literally everything you do.
Truly, I want to return the favor and say that I have also been watching you from afar. We know each other the tiniest bit from the groundlings.
Yes.
But I think you're fucking brilliant.
Thank
so
you.
funny. Idiot Sitter was
Thank
so
you.
funny. My wife and I loved that show.
That means so much.
Oh, it wasn't even in your credits.
There's too many credits.
That's just too many credits.
That's
but I
very
really
kind.
think you're totally a star, brilliant, so funny, and I've always thought so. So I'm so glad you're here.
You guys are like obviously incredible writers and producers and actors and all the things. And I'm like, but
someone's getting an award from high school.
Someone's getting an award
Somebody's
soon about it.
Somebody's
at high school. But writing is like one of my favorite passions. So I'm always like,
I mean, we're going to get in there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
Yep.
Your new movie, which we loved, is about, so one of my like favorite topics, which is about like an unrequited crush, love on someone who maybe they're a friend or they're in your orbit, and it's just like burning
since childhood,
crushing you.
Yeah.
I have much to say about this, but have you been in this position personally? Because as soon as the movie started, I was like, this is where I live. Like, this is my home address, is this dynamic my entire life.
I want you to know that like as a kid, I would just listen to that song that like, it goes, it's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. Like that was just me as a kid, just jamming in my mom's Suburban. And I was just in love with love, and unrequited love was all I was getting. And so but it builds character and jokes.
It builds character and jokes. I actually don't think I knew there was any other kind. Like I just thought,
I didn't know either.
I was like, love, when you love someone, it just feels terrible because they don't like you back.
Well, like, and then it feels
what are people
great.
doing with their mouths and bodies? Why are they kissing when they know someone doesn't like the other person back?
Yeah, like I got one of those questions out of, one of those questions out of a little box where it's like, what is your favorite toy from childhood? But the one that I loved was, what do you miss most about your childhood?
I'm sorry, where is this box?
Yeah, what's the box?
It's a box of questions. I love a box of questions.
I love a box of questions.
Yes. Okay, now I
Like,
understand.
give it to me. Let's pull
really
it
get
out.
in there.
You prefer to live in the forest or by the ocean? I love it. Give it to me.
Yes.
Sorry, were you just jerking off
To the box of questions.
Okay.
Forest, ocean, yes.
But my favorite one was, what do you miss from your childhood? And I always say, and this is what a sap I am, the feeling of what I thought love would feel like when you were young.
Man.
And by the way, the feeling of actual real love is such a beautiful thing. Like I finally have it now at 40, but
many questions to follow up.
But the thought of what it would feel like when you were young was so specific.
Oh.
I mean, it was Leonardo DiCaprio through that glass fish tank.
The fish tank, 100%. Your Claire Danes' chin trembling as you watch him through that fish tank.
Jessi and I had a pure love for
Romeo and Juliet?
doe-eyed, deer-looking women.
Specifically to give Jillian credit for being very funny, because I still will talk about this. So not to jump ahead, but we overlapped at SNL.
Yes.
And, many talk about late night probing conversations.
Oh my God.
The latest, most probiest. But we just started talking about actresses, especially like of that Claire Danes era, who had, as Jillian put it, like just like perfect, simple little faces. And then I remember you talking about, you're like, Winona Ryder. You're like, what a simple little fucking face. It's so easy.
Give it to me.
It's just
give me those big eyes.
Give me those.
And it just goes down to a point.
It goes down to a point.
I mean, I would say
it's a face you could draw.
Oh my God.
So simply.
I wish.
It's one step.
I feel like Winona Ryder has a very sort of fox-like, sort of almost like a woodland creature kind of
definitely.
vibe.
She lives under a big leaf.
Yes, she sure does.
And she wakes up like this, blink, 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 blink.
Yeah. Just a series of blinks.
Just a series of
awakeness.
Long lashed blinks.
Yes.
Oh,
I would say like Zoe Deschanel. I feel like
Yes.
also has like such a
She's
simple
woodlandy.
little fucking face.
Yes.
it's like a pizza you draw. The point goes down, and there's two pepperonis.
Two pepperonis.
yeah.
You draw the pizza, and then you just soften the point a little bit.
You soften
That's
it.
just a snooch, and then it's two
a tiny
pepperonis and like a Tic Tac, and you're done.
Is this a good time to tell you that I was friends with Claire Danes for one day when I was 12?
What?
Do you know that I was friends with Claire Danes?
Wait,
Have I
what?
ever told my Claire Danes
No,
story?
we've both never told our Dane stories.
Shut down the podcast.
Okay, everybody, this is
Everyone
about to become
save
a
it for
Claire
the pod.
Danes only.
It's fuckle up alert. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was a little bit of a child actor. And so I was either 12 or 13. I can't believe it either. And my sister, like somehow, I think her professor in college was doing a call for this play that she was doing. And it was like an open call for girls. And I auditioned. There were like 5 different girls. And I walked in for like the day they were auditioning the girl that I was auditioning for. And there was just a room full of girls who looked exactly like me and Claire Danes. But I didn't know Claire Danes because Claire Danes wasn't Claire Danes yet because she was only like 11 or 12.
Danes.
She was just Claire Danes.
Yeah.
And so we ended up getting like sort of narrowed down together, and it became between she and I for this part. And so we spent what felt like days, but it was probably like 5 hours in this like theater, whatever.
Of the
like,
mind.
This theater of the mind. But like our moms hung out, we hung out together, and I just remember her name was Claire Danes.
Great name.
She was very cute and pretty, but she was like, prepubescent. It was it was a really long time ago. And we like totally hit it off. She obviously got the part. And I have never seen her since in person. That's my story.
And that was Homeland.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah,
it was a precursor to Homeland.
That's right.
Where
yes.
girls who...
To be honest, that was me on Homeland.
That was you?
Yeah,
That was you?
Yeah, that was my chin quivering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Fair,
That was
fair.
fair. So we both grew up in New York City. Claire grew up in New York City. I was best friends with this girl, Molly, and her younger sister, Emily, was best friends with Claire Danes. And we would sometimes all hang out. Like I spent a fair amount of time with a young, like she's 3 years younger than me. So I was like 15 and she's 12. It's right before my so-called life.
By the way, we were hanging out with her at the same time, except mine was for one day.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow, guys.
There was one Claire
Venus in retrograde
in
right
between
now?
you
What
guys.
does
It was
this
just
mean?
we were one Claire away from each other.
We were one Claire apart.
Yeah.
6 degrees of Claire.
I think we need to get Claire Danes on the show. I'm going to
think
say
we
it right
do.
now.
Ladies and gentlemen. Claire Danes.
Jillian's like, but I'm here.
Oh,
but
she's shy.
but you remember
She's
how
shy.
I'm right here.
I could be here,
guest
but
is
no.
No. Okay, so she's very cool, very fun, very sweet. I'm going to say always had a star quality.
Oh, for sure.
And yet, one night late at a diner on Bleecker Street that is no longer there called Triumph Diner, it's me, it's Claire, it's Emily, it's Molly. It's like a couple of people sitting around and we're talking about what we want to be when we grow up. And Claire's like, yeah, I think... I think I really want to be an actor. Like I already I really love it. I think that's what I want to do. And I was like, as I'm chewing on like a chicken parm from a diner, I'm like, well, that's all very well. But I was like, you just probably want to have like a plan B.
Wow.
In case it doesn't work out.
You're a little wonder killer, aren't you?
I truly was like, just think about it. And then truly, I think like 3 months later, she was deemed
superstar.
one of the greatest actors of her generation.
But you know what? I bet you would remember that because I feel like people always remember that one person that was like, at the diner, she had chicken parm in her mouth. And she said, have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Which I think was the word plan, but I couldn't hear it through the chicken parm.
It was like she didn't know how to eat really the right way. It was like a lot of stuffing. This takes us back to the conversation we were having about always sort of being someone who was unrequited. And part of what I love about you making this movie is that as a kid, I wanted more unrequited crush movies from the girls' POV.
Yes, me too.
Because they were all like a dude is like, how will I get that girl with great boobs and blonde hair?
The guy wants the girl, and she's always, not even a 10, a 12.
Yes.
Out of his league. And like, you don't know how the girl feels at all. Except she comes and
it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't really matter.
And she loses her top.
She loses her top.
And
there's a night where he sees her through a window.
Yeah, as all guys do.
As all guys do. Leo DiCaprio, fish tank. Yeah. But I was just like, where's the female ducky? Like, where's... So
I know.
Talk about how, you made... I don't know. How
autobiographical is this movie?
Honestly, the lead's name in the film is Abby, and I am Abby. I put the setting at a Catholic high school, which is where I attended in Las Vegas, but this one is in Syracuse. And I was such a late bloomer, so late to the game. My first kiss was at 17, and it was the night that I asked my mother if I could have an alcoholic beverage at a party because I knew who would be driving me home. So I was like...
So responsible.
I was my mom was like, go get messed up. Don't...
Have fun, girl.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah. So let your horses run wild.
Yeah. But I wanted everything to be like a movie. So, and I did have a good movie first kiss. So that was fun. But
you did?
Yes.
Can we hear a little more about what? Because I did not.
Oh my God. So, when you wait forever for it, you're like, it's got to be special. It's got to be special.
Yeah.
So I had a crush on this guy who's now one of my good friends. And
his name is Brad Pitt.
His name is Bradley Pitt. And there was a party over at his house, and I had one of those plastic pineapples that was full of pineapple and Malibu rum.
Yes, girl.
Pineapple.
I love there was a plastic pineapple.
To this day, that's still one of my favorite drinks. I don't have it a lot, but if I have it, I'm like, high school romance.
I'm young.
Well, the girl who was driving me, Michelle Campanella, was the responsible one, but she was not having fun because everybody was drunk and she was not.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she says, guys, we're going to load up the car. Everyone's ready to go. And the guy that I liked was swimming in the pool. And there was a bunch of other people in the pool with him, and the party was all around the pool. And I was just like, it's never going to happen. And so I walked over to him and I said, we got to go. And he's like, no, I thought you were going to hang. And I was like, I can't.
Were you holding the plastic pumpkin?
I had a little plastic thing. I was like,
Pineapple.
I got to go.
Yeah.
He said, well, say goodbye to me. And I was like, no, you're going to get me all wet. And he's like, no, I won't. And he gives me a hug, and he pulls me into the pool with all my clothes on.
Oh,
Jillian!
my God. You had to make this movie.
I come up out of the water, and the whole class is looking. And that is laughing and being like, woo! And I go, I can't believe you did it. And he goes, you know you liked it. And he pulled me in and he gave me a kiss. And everyone saw.
Jillian.
Isn't that a great first kiss?
That's incredible.
That's an incredible first kiss.
You know what?
I know.
Worth the wait.
Worth the wait.
Worth the wait. And also makes so much sense because I think you really captured in this movie that fantasy element of what you want things to be so badly when you're that age.
So badly.
And I'm an anxious person, so I would nervous hallucinate about what's the worst way it could go, what's the best way it could go, and I just thought that
anxious hallucinating.
Yeah. I just am like, oh God, it's gonna be terrible, or it'd be great. Well, here's the version where it goes both ways. But so when I originally got the script, I sort of was like, wow, I didn't picture my directorial debut would be about 69'ing. And then I sort of kept going back to the friendship between the two women of the film. And I thought, wow, this is a real opportunity to do a coming of age story for two different ages that are near the same age, but are going through completely different stages in life, you know? There's that feeling that sexually you need to be somewhere by 18 or have achieved all of these things. And then at 28, you're like, okay, well, my 10-year high school reunion's coming up. Have I made something of myself? So I thought that was really interesting. And I added the reunion. I added all these fun things to the script, but a lot of it was really like kind of like my love letter to my sister. My sister and I got to produce this movie together. It's our first movie.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we've been working together for like the last 8 years, and this is the first one we've been able to produce because it's so hard to make things in this industry together. And so
that's amazing.
Yes.
And by the way, it's so beautifully directed.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
like,
you.
I did get a little, I was like felling about it. I was like, Jillian directed, she's a fucking director.
Thank you. It was the best experience, is the highlight of my whole career.
The relationship that you're talking about between, you know, Abby, who's the high schooler, and Chloe Feynman's character.
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Such a fun.
Go to hell.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Who's 28 and, you know, not sure if she should go to her high school reunion or not. Like, I love that she's sort of like, obviously, the sexually awakened friend.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, is that based on sort of any dynamic you really had in life? Like that person, that friend that you have in high school who's just like so much more advanced than you are?
Oh my gosh, I feel like all of my female friends were more advanced than me. But I will say that my sister was my go-to. Like, she was the one who told me what 69 meant in like 5th grade, though.
What's your age difference?
We're 5 years apart. So she's
So
5
are my
years
sister
older.
and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you guys best friends?
We are very, very close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she was definitely the one who taught me what everything is. And anytime I would be like, my body's growing hair here, or what is this feeling? She's like, yeah, that's all normal.
Yeah, I've had that feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have that hair.
Yeah, you have that when you see Christian Slater? Yeah, that happens to
That's
all
of us, hon.
That's all of us, baby.
Oh, baby.
Just smoking a cigarette and
Every
flicking in my
older
hair.
sister is like an old Broadway manager. Baby.
Baby, now get out on that stage. Shake those ties.
Do what you were born to do. No crying. Any opportunity. I'm just not over high school in any in any way. I am.
It feels like forever ago to me.
It feels like forever ago, and yet I realize, like, on a daily, hour-to-hour basis, like, so many of my feelings remain.
Yes.
Like, not all of them, but like a lot of them, I still socially can feel like, I don't know, emotional muscle memory of like, what? I'm walking into a room and people I don't know, nobody's gonna like me. Like, whatever. Like, that feels familiar.
Are who you are, and I think by the time you're in high school, there's at least 50% of you that is just going to be that person forever.
Yeah, that's it now.
That's it.
Yeah, toothpick is dry.
Also, of course you feel like it's high school all the time. We're constantly starting new jobs and meeting new people and not knowing what the room is going to feel like, what the temperature is in there.
Yeah.
What, you know, if someone's not going to like you.
Well, it's like, will people get me?
Yeah.
Like, will anybody get me
and
or
that's the thing
see
is, like,
me?
we forget that I mean, I can say pretty confidently about you two, and I hope me, we're pretty gettable people. We're not like.
Do we have simple little Winona faces?
Maybe
simple,
not.
easy to
Almost.
draw.
I would say almost.
Like, so who were you in high school? Like, what was your... We'll do a
So
round
sexy.
robin.
Yeah, we should do a
We'll
round
do a
robin.
round
Who
robin.
were
So
we in high
freaking
school?
sexy.
What was your vibe? What give us...
She was hot.
I was
obviously hot.
cool, available,
Cool.
fast girl.
Grammy winner. Platinum album.
Selena Gomez. I was the theater kid for sure. I was the theater kid. I created the improv club.
Yes.
Very cool.
Oh, we
Don't
would've
worry
been
about that.
friends.
Jason Sudeikis actually came and taught improv at our school because he was at Second City at the Flamingo Hotel.
Sure.
And I was like, can you please come and
Hi, Jillian
treat
Bell
us
here.
to some of your skills?
Yes.
And he came and did that. But like I was really lucky. My class was one of the few classes where it's like you could tell who the cliques were, but it wasn't really cliquey. Like it was like anyone could kind of go to anyone's table and say hello. It wasn't too bad.
very nice.
But I was definitely like silly, gonna do something weird in the yearbook. But like my mom is still my mom, so I still had to have like Laura Linney's haircut in Primal Fear. You know what I mean? Just like straight blonde and tucked up under as hard as possible.
Yeah.
So I looked like a normal kid, but like I wanted the blue hair. You know what I mean? I wanted the wild choices, but I did not do that.
I relate to that. I was very preppy, but I always was like, I want a mohawk.
Yeah.
I want to shave my head. I want to be like Sinead O'Connor, who's on my t-shirt. Thank you.
Today.
But like, I wanted to be edgy, and I wanted to like wear a cuff.
Are
like
you sad that you didn't do it?
I mean, I think ultimately it is not who I am. And I think perhaps that's why I write characters, so that I can, in a way, be lots of people.
Hand someone a leather cuff.
Yeah, I can
and
make
be like,
somebody
wear this
wear
in my
it.
show.
Yeah. I wish I sort of had the balls to be that way, but instead I was, I did wear a leather jacket every day.
Can I
Every
invite
single day.
you two on a trip?
Yes.
We're like, our bags are packed.
I just thought of the most fun trip that we could make.
Oh my
which
God.
is like a kind of staycation somewhere nearby that wouldn't be too far away. So it's for a night.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we decide to be whoever we thought we were in high school.
I'm
for one night.
I'm literally dead, and we can't have this trip soon enough. I'm so
whoever
excited
we
by
thought
this.
we were, whoever we wished we were.
Yeah, we that one too.
Because
I don't know.
I thought I was a loser. So I don't want to dress as that.
Wish you were.
But truly, I went to my 20th high school reunion, which is a sort of an addendum to
She
the...
loves going to a reunion.
Well, I
ladies
went to my
and
20th high
gentlemen.
school reunion because it happened at just like this, like it happened within the 3 months where I actually felt like I was
Like
doing
a good
well in
pocket,
life.
a really nice
good
pocket.
pocket. Where like my first TV show, which was called One Big Happy, which lasted all of 6 episodes,
Doesn't
happened
matter.
to be on the air.
Congratulations.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you so
great
much.
job.
2015 happened to be on the air. And so I felt like I was like, okay, I feel pretty good about myself. I was married. I got to take my wife, so it felt really good. But I sort of warned Rachel. I was like, look, I'm going to be honest, like I was not popular in high school. And I very much felt like I was not a loser, but I didn't feel understood, or I didn't feel super well liked. And I got to this reunion, and I very sort of quickly realized, as my friends were talking to Rachel, that was how I felt about myself, and not really about how anybody felt.
I mean, it's the
about me.
famous like 30 Rock episode where like Tina Fey remembers that everybody was so mean.
It really was.
And then everyone's like, you were so mean.
Yeah. And
You were the mean one.
Yeah,
you were
and
mean to yourself.
I
mean to
think I was
yourself.
probably a little mean because I was trying to get to other people before they got to me, I think. And I
Classic.
Truly. So in high school, like I was like leather jacket. I was the one smoking across the street, and like so many of the kids that I went to high school with were giving little anecdotes to Rachel, like, oh yeah, the first time I smoked a cigarette was with Liz. The first time I played hooky was with Liz. The first time I was like, oh, I was like the bad girl.
You were the bad girl.
I was a little bit the bad girl.
That's pretty cool.
like the bad
guess.
cool girl.
The bad. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But
I think those two things kind of go hand in hand.
I guess they do. I was fully acting out because I couldn't really.
Are we
be
calling,
myself.
is this like a, I mean, I hate to reduce everything down to these basic sauces, but they exist for a reason. Are we Judd Nelson?
I was fully Judd Nelson.
You were Judd Nelson.
I was like Judd Nelson, except like my home life was better.
Okay, not a cigarette burn, not a cigarette
were
burn.
responsible
Yes.
professionals who
But
just
like
worked
it's
a
a
lot.
type.
But-
Like that's
Oh
a
yeah,
type.
I was definitely more
Judd
the
Nelson
Judd
vibes.
Nelson than I certainly was, the Claire. To go back to the Claires.
Sure, of course.
But yes, and I think I was more liked than I realized, and it was
not
actually very
surprised by
healing.
this.
So I'm going to go to my 30th reunion trying to remember that.
head held high.
Head held
Who were,
high.
Jesse, who are you in the Breakfast Club?
Wait, I want to go back to who you were in the Breakfast Club, because I was about to say off of what you were saying before. I know you were saying like, oh, the school was actually nice and it wasn't too cookie, but I'm also getting a whiff of you were just popular.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
I said what I said.
Oh, I think
Which wouldn't surprise me because you are
think-
one of the most charming, friendly,
Likeable,
funny, likable
adorable.
people walking
I
this
was
earth.
approachable.
not one of the cheerleaders,
Okay.
and none of the teachers slept with me. So I don't think I was the popular kid, but I don't think I was unpopular.
I feel like you were
You
very
were
well liked.
popular.
I was well liked.
I think you,
You
were
were
well
well
liked,
liked.
and you knew it.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. And Jesse Klein, it's your turn. I feel like you don't
who
want
are
to tell
you?
us who you were
No,
in
no,
high school.
oh no, I think it's quite obvious who I was in high school. I was a real fucking weirdo loser. I was like Ali. I would say, yeah.
You were the Ali Sheedy?
I was Ali Sheedy at best. I was somewhere between Ali
Interesting.
Sheedy and what's his face?
Emilio Estevez?
Anthony,
the jock?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. I was sort of in between Anthony Michael Hall and Ali Sheedy.
Movie? I can't remember.
I was a mess. And I know, it's funny, I was just watching, as I only ever look at Instagram when I'm not right here, there was like an interview with Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy where she was talking about like, I was really weird looking in high school. And I was like, Ellen. And then she's like, I was just so thin. I'm like, Ellen. And again, huge fan. But no, I was really weird looking. I had like gigantic, messy, long hair that I just never brushed. I remember at one point, Emily, who was friends with Claire Danes, who I was also friends with, like I was at their house one day and she was like, Jessi, let me brush your hair. And she found like a snarl at the base of my neck that was like the size of an ostrich egg.
Do you know how much I love the word snarl? And
a snarl.
It doesn't get used often.
No.
Well, I think we need to bring it back.
But I didn't know if I wanted, so it was a little Ali Sheedy, like a weirdo with weird, crazy hair, like very pale. I wanted to be, I don't know, like cool punk.
Yes.
But I didn't know how to do that or like just didn't. So I bought, like, here's the visual.
Who was your style icon?
I bought a t-shirt that did say "Die Yuppie Scum" on it.
Yeah, that's
and I wore that a lot.
Amazing.
Okay. And I wore that with combat boots that I bought because they were like my friend Marsha's combat boots. Great. They were the cool one with the zipper up the side.
So cool.
And like, but then sometimes I would have days where I'm like, is hippie fashion more suited for my body? So then I would wear like a long like skirt that you could buy at like, a store that had like clothes from India and like a t-shirt and like beads.
Listen, we were all just trying to figure out who we were, how to dress.
I feel like you and I had a big period of time in 2009 to 10 when we were writing for SNL. We would go downstairs to the J. Crew.
Sure.
And the Anthropology.
I was going to say.
But we would walk to J. Crew when we had a bad day and just look at the chunky jewelry. Chunky jewelry.
Peak
like
J. Crew chunky jewelry.
You'd pick it up and it'd be like, clang, 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 clang.
More cowbell.
And somebody's like, did you want to buy that door with a string? And I was like, yeah.
We're like, will we be fired tomorrow? Can I afford this?
Yeah, we're like, it's $98?
Yeah, it's always $98 for the big chunky one.
You only live once.
Yes.
But we would always be trying on these outfits and be like, how does my body do? Like, what is, like, I don't know. Like, I just was always like this little pear and then the legs. Like, I was always like trying to figure out what style is even then. I was like, I don't know.
Who was your style? Who did you want to look like? What was your style icon?
Oh my God. Well, when I was younger, I feel like it was all the different stages of Drew Barrymore, right? Like,
I feel like she's my style icon now.
Right. She is the best dressed woman on TV.
Those trousers she's wearing.
The trousers, the ties, the
knickers.
Yeah.
Why can't we all just wear knickers?
It's
I don't know.
insane. And then a big clunky, sort of groovy heel.
It's like a long sock, like a knicker, a big chunky boot, a tie.
A great old Rolex.
It's very, it's very
an old man watch for sure.
An old man watch.
And and then the hair as flipped over as possible.
But also she does look like Drew Barrymore. So she has that going.
She does.
But when she was younger too, like Mad Love.
Mad Love.
I mean,
peak.
Isn't she the ultimate
Peak.
Drew. She's the perfect little face person.
She's got a perfect, simple little face.
Simple little, beautiful face.
She's got like that little chin.
Oh yeah.
Forget about
talk about a little snarl. A little lip that's going one way while the other goes the other way.
Side mouth action.
A side talker.
Icon.
Did we make a list of side talkers? Was that us? At SNL?
The only things I remember of us at SNL are one, we watched that video of Bruce Springsteen singing Fire.
Yes!
So many fucking times.
So many times.
Yeah. If there's a way to touch. We're going to show it to you.
Okay.
Stand myself. He's very into himself. Like, like people would cheer and he'd be like, wait. Like he was about to come. And
as were we.
I know, we were like this. And it was always like the nights.
Does Lauren like me yet?
It's always Friday when you didn't get something in, and they're just like, write update jokes, and we're like, okay, and then it's like a Romeo and Juliet. We would just play that as opposed to writing. And then the only other thing I remember is we wrote some sketch that was like to feel the beat of the rhythm of the night, but it was all about like, it was a cruise that was going to hell. Do you remember that?
I do.
They're like, when you feel like the devil's on your boat now, or something. It was something so stupid.
Could we just also celebrate for a second that this is the first guest that we have had, the first friend that we have had on the show who asked us to
go
do
on
something.
A trip? And she's like, well, but that's a joke. I don't really mean it. We're no, we're going.
No, I'm down.
We usually have to, like, at the end of our time with our guests, basically pitch, like, can we please hang out after this? She did it first.
No.
She got
I know. I would like to see you both.
Jillian's the best.
Like the second I saw you both, I'm like, why are we not hanging out?
I don't know. I don't think we've ever hung out.
I would love to have more lady friends around.
Oh my gosh.
Hand is up.
Okay.
Can I also say that you were also the one, sorry, I don't know, can I just assume, I don't care if this is on a podcast or not, but you showed me, I believe it had to have been you, so we would just like not get things on.
Yeah.
You would get things on. I only got one thing on.
I got one.
What are the one things you both got on SNL?
Wait, but then you were my favorite because you found out you got asked back.
And I still don't know if that's the truth or not, but that's what I think.
You were asked back, and I was not, and I found out that you were like, like.
And I thought did you not stay another year?
No, I was 1 year, and when I heard that you were like, nah, I think I'm good, I was like, I told you this. I was like, I'm going to make a statue of you and masturbate to it because I just think it's so cool. Like that place pumps you so much with like, this is the only cool thing in the world.
Yeah.
And so for you to be like, I'm good, made me be like, you're a rock star.
So Jessi Klein.
Isn't that so Jessi Klein?
So hard.
I mean, guys,
having worked with her for over the years, yes. I'm like, if you ask me, who's the one person you know who went to work at SNL for a year and then just decided that they were done?
Like, I get it.
Yeah, she gets it. You guys, I'm going back to this question because I really want to know, and I think people will be very interested. What is the one sketch you both got on SNL?
I feel like I remember yours.
Wait, tell me yours.
Mine was the first episode that I was there for. It was Megan Fox. Now Megan Fox talks. Wait, and now your mom talks to Megan Fox. And it was Kristen Wiig being a mom folding laundry while like her daughter gets ready. And she's like, she'll be down in a second. And they're like, so what's going on with you? Like, how's the
I think that
was the movie world
before. Because, I got hired like a few episodes late.
Right.
But I remember watching that and thinking that was so fucking funny.
I kind of remember that, and it was very funny.
It was fine. It was very sweet. Honestly, I had so many dedications to my mom in there, like winks to my mom, that I was like, well, I'll be able to do funnier ones soon. And then none of them got on. So I was like, okay.
You remember yours that got on?
Yeah. Let me think. How can I remember the one? Oh, yeah, one. I got on a commercial parody at the very end.
The brownie one, right?
The brownie husband commercial with Tina Fey, where it was sort of making fun of like Duncan Hines ads where women are like, it was kind of like a dessert you can fuck.
It was like a whole shape of a man.
It was a shape of a man.
Yes, that was very funny.
I'm proud of it insofar as I feel like it really said everything I needed to say on that show. Food and sex. My year at SNL, I'm always pretty comfortable talking about, like, was very hellacious.
Yeah.
I came in late. I didn't I just didn't get a chance to sync up.
Stuck you in a room where so it was 3 women.
There were 3 women, and I was lucky because it was me, Christine Nangle, and Abby Elliott.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
In a room. I remember when I walked into the room, they're like, so here's where you live now. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is like my office. This is too small for me. That's when I thought it was just me.
And there were 2 other people.
And then I turned and I was
in
like,
the corner.
I was like, oh, and I share this with Abby. How are 2 people in this room? And then I was like, what's this? Can we get this 3rd chair out of here? They're like, no, that's where Christine Nangle sits.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
She was in a cave.
She was literally in a little cave. So people, I remember Sudeikis coming by on my first day, and I kind of knew him, I guess, somehow from before. Anyway, he poked his head in to say hi, and then he was like, wait, what?
Like, what's going on here?
And people would poke by just to be like, wait, how did they put a 3rd person in here?
They're like, oh, we're getting a 4th person soon.
Who did you share an office with?
It was me and Nassim Pedrad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just the two of us. I felt terrible to say we had only two, but
God bless.
Better offices, like the more senior you would get.
Yes, like Kristen Wiig was not in a room smushed together with.
She was only the one person in there. She had her own office.
Little pad. But what I was going to ask was, so it was really stressful. It was hard. And I really mean this, so grateful I had that opportunity. I had always wanted to work there my whole life. But it was like I was having a nervous breakdown a bit the whole year. And I really needed, you have so little time away from the show. And so on my one day off, I like really needed to like have lunch with a friend. Yeah. Just to like have someone like help me, as the kids now say, touch grass, to be like, oh, I'm not a fucking dumb, shitty piece of shit loser who's not funny. Who were your friends who helped you get through it?
My friend Vanessa was actually living out there at the time, and she was doing like 4 jobs at the same time, and we were like in our go year. It was like, okay, I'm at SNL from these hours to these hours. She is gone at the same time, or like she's just coming back from doing a soap opera. Like she was doing a soap opera, and then she was in Hair on Broadway.
Okay.
So very different hours.
Yeah.
And we got a note from our neighbor once that said, the clapping and stomping and making up songs at 4 a.m. has to stop. Because we would get home and I'd be like, hey, you're home. I didn't know you'd be. And she'd be like, yes, I just got back, you see. And like, we just do that all the time because I was 24.
Yes.
And she was, I think, like 26 or 27.
Having one of the most insane experiences you can have.
Insane.
In a work world.
Yes. And she was too. I mean, she was like naked on Broadway every day and then learning a new script every night to do a soap opera.
I mean, good for her,
So it was like, we look at that time and we were like, whoa, now we're old ladies. Like, I can't imagine.
Home again.
Yeah, we still have a song, but it's just a little older. But she was my person where I would just be like, what are we doing? I mean, I was so excited about it though. Like that was, my friend just sent me a picture yesterday where it was like my little bio in West Side Story when I was 17 in my high school production of West Side Story.
Who did you play?
I played anybody's, just scrap them.
You did? Yeah.
All the great ones played anybody.
So much.
They were one of the guys.
That's right.
And in it just said like, Jillian was in these other 2 plays. And then it says, her only dream is to go to SNL.
Aww.
So like, and I didn't go to New York before I auditioned for SNL because I told my parents that's how I was going to go, was I was going to audition for SNL. And that's how it happened. So like, that was the dream for me.
Yeah.
So obviously being on it was the dream, but then being asked to be a writer, I was like, this is unbelievable and I'm going to learn so much. And I did. I learned how to write for other people's voices. You know, at the Groundlings, you learn how to write for your own voice.
True.
Pretty strongly. But this was just an amazing experience and also awful in moments. And everyone develops a drinking problem that needs to be checked on at one point or another.
Still unwell.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember after one of the shows just being so drunk that I had to walk next door to the diner and just get toast to just put in my mouth. And I looked over and John Hamm was at another table, just a full-on toast. And we were both like,
also toast?
Like cheersing with toast and like not sitting together, but just like.
Wait, was he alone?
I think so. I think we both knew we needed to get the hell out of there.
A toast.
To have a toast.
Now, you didn't answer. Who in the Breakfast Club were you in high school?
Yes, please.
Oh, I feel like I was, oh gosh, I don't know. Who always wanted people to get along? Who's that? I guess Anthony Michael Hall was a little bit that.
Anthony Michael Hall wanted people to get along.
I would say him with a little bit, like I wished I was Ali Sheedy.
I mean, when I say I was Ali Sheedy, I'm acknowledging that's cooler than I was, but it's just as a genre.
You're talking about the dandruff
the dandruff snow, and the dance. I will say to this day, when I'm drunk enough at a party, I will still try to do the Ali Sheedy dance.
Oh,
where
it's
you
so good.
Shake your fist until you're down on the ground.
All the way down.
All the way down. And I used to be really good at it, and now I have like a couple like labral tears in my hips, and my flexibility isn't as great.
Oh no!
How is she so?
So we always end our shows with something we like to call the Ravioli moment.
Oh, I love it.
Which is really just a great moment in friendship. Some, anecdote about when a friend was there for you, showed up for you in a moment of like real need at a low moment, or
just a moment of friendship that sticks with you when you were like, well, this feels like
oh my
real
gosh. My sister drove me here because I had a panic attack this morning.
No.
I've been in a funky spot right now. You know when you go through one of those around 40, and I've been having more anxiety, and she was just like, hey, I'll take you to your thing. So she literally was with me this morning. I was like sitting in a little towel and just got out of the shower, and I was just like, I'm just a mess. And she was like, you got this. You're going to get through. Like, she was just.
That's so nice.
That's incredible.
So sweet and nice. And I feel like, the easy one would be come on here and tell you like the silly ones. But I think that right now it's like I'm so aware of great friendships in my life and a lot of great women, and I just want to give her little flowers right now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. I think there is a special circle of heaven for people who drive friends places voluntarily, unasked.
I know. I think it's very sweet. Like, it's just
really
like, let
nice.
me take a load off of something on your plate for right
it's
now.
such an easy thing to do for somebody.
I know.
And but it's also so lovely.
And a little bit of company instead of stewing in your own head while you drive, which I sure do love to do. But
Do
if
you?
Well, if I'm in that panic attack space, it's just to say I see you and I honor you, because who among us?
Who among us? My panic attacks happen at night, but I completely understand. I wouldn't be driving. I'd be trying to sleep and unable for 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
But so I completely understand.
Yeah. I stopped driving about 3 years ago because I had a panic attack on the freeway. Yeah. So
Jillian.
I haven't been a person who drives for a few years now, but anyway, we'll tell the longer story off the past. The past? The pod.
Off the past.
Off the pasta.
The pod past.
The
Off the
second
pasta.
we're off pasta, I'll tell you guys the whole story. But
By
it
the way,
is
let's
like,
get some pasta
you can have a
and we can
flare up sometimes with like anxiety. And so while I'm in one, she was just like, hey, how about I take you to your sweet podcast today? And I was like, that's so sweet. I love us being like 40 and 45. And she's like being my big sister.
That's amazing.
I really love that.
It's very sweet.
Is she your best friend?
1,000%. There's no, like, when my fiance and I get married, it'll be her and then his brother. That's it. Like, we're both best friends with our siblings. So it's really nice because we have an understanding of like, we're each other's soulmates, but really also these are our soulmates.
Yeah,
it's
you've
really
been
nice.
invited into
Yeah.
a soulmate
You can come
circle.
on in. Yes.
That's so beautiful and so lucky that your sister is your soulmate. I do feel similarly about my sister.
do?
Though I had to tell her I was going to be her maid of honor.
Yes.
Yeah, she wasn't
And
gonna
she was
have
like,
she was
interesting.
I said, it's important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
And so she was like, okay. Yeah, you can. She wasn't going to have any wedding party. It was a more casual kind of affair. And I was like, it would be really meaningful to me and really important if I could be your maid of honor.
That's so lovely.
Yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
That is, what's your sister's name?
Brianna.
Brianna, you goddamn sweetheart.
You remember Brianna?
I must have met your sister.
Oh
at
yeah,
some
she
point.
came out. She came out
Yes.
for SNL, but that was also like so many years ago, like
So
15
many
years ago.
Wait, can I just ask one little basic bit? I mean, this doesn't have to be for the party. I do love weddings. No,
Yes.
I'm not inviting myself
Yes.
to your wedding. I was just going to ask what you're going to wear. Do we
hang
know?
out,
Do we
hang
know what
out
you're
with
wearing?
me 2 more times and you'll be invited.
Do you know what
when
you're
is
wearing?
the wedding?
We don't know yet.
Okay,
Probably
Jessi,
next
we can still
year.
get in.
We can still get in.
Yeah, you can still get in.
All right, that's
Okay,
what we're doing
this
for
is
the
getting
next few months.
I love that I'm a part of you
Full
plotting it.
corporate.
Yeah, you
so
can get
Jillian,
in.
you know we're gonna
Jillian,
try to go to your
we're
wedding.
coming.
And so we don't know what we're wearing yet, or
We don't know what we're wearing yet. I only know one thing I think we're definitely doing, which is like, one of those weddings where it's like, oh, close people come on Thursday and we do something. And then Friday's a bigger thing of a rehearsal dinner. And then Saturday's
the main event.
The main event.
Yeah.
We know that the Thursday night, we really want to screen and do an outdoor screening of the film Barbarian.
Yes. Yes. A wedding classic.
A wedding classic.
The first time we said I love you, we were in a hotel and we were like, I love you too. We got so excited. And then we go, what do we do? And then we're like, oh, they have Barbarian. And so we watched Barbarian.
That's amazing.
And then after he proposed, we got home, we opened a bottle of champagne, and then we're like, what do we do now? We watch Barbarian.
I mean, obviously Barbarian.
So now I feel like we have to watch Barbarian.
I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight.
What?
Watching Barbarian.
Have you seen it?
Who's in it?
She said her voice high.
Who's in it?
Before we say goodbye, tell us about your film, when it's coming out, when we can see it, and where.
So the movie Summer of 69 is out right now on Hulu. It's about a sexually inexperienced teenager who hires a local stripper to help her land the guy of her dreams after she overhears what his favorite sexual position is. She goes from 0 to 69 in a week's time. Who doesn't want to see that?
It's great.
So good.
You want to see it.
Turn it on. Chloe Fineman, Sam
Chloe is
Morales,
so funny.
Charlie Day, Paula Pell, Nicole Byer, Liza Koshy, Natalie Morales. We got a great cast. You guys are gonna have a good time. It was like my tribute to like John Hughes movies. So I hope you watch it and you feel all the things and you laugh and you feel stuff.
It's so good. Thank you, Jillian.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on social media at Here to Make Friends Pod and let us know who you think we should make friends with next. Email us at htmfpod@gmail.com and go out and make a friend
today or whenever you
Tomorrow's
want.
fine too.
That was a Headgum podcast.